J.Town is not a viper. Girl, you know. She boy, switch, Dr. Flame. This is real love. This is real love. This is real love with you. This is real love. This is real love. This is real love with you. You're taking over my body, my heart, and my feelings. Baby, this is real love with you, with you, with you. This is real love, real love, real love, real love.
First she makes it bounce, then she makes it clap. You know you blow my mind when you do it like that. Then she takes my honey, she can't take all my money, but I ain't tripping, baby, take it over again. She pressed my moo button, I'm feeling very funny. This time I got
There's inequality in lots of forms. Is it that the younger people do not have enough experience to get jobs? Is it that they don't have the right connections to get jobs? Or they don't have enough money to pay to get the jobs? Well, what we want to hear is from you. What do you think, really? What is the effect of inequality? If inequality exists, I know that it affects things. It changes the status quo. So concerning youth employment, now, what do you think inequality has to do with youth employment?
A friend of mine, she went down to her state, in Benue State. We actually discussed about self-employment, and we shared ideas, and she went home, she wanted to do that. So I shared with her that if she can get a farm, pay for the farm, and probably plant whatever she feels like she's comfortable doing with the farm, she could help herself, give herself money. Then she accepted the idea. She went down to her state because they called her mom called her and told her, there's an empty land and you can come get it. So when she came down, she went to see the landowner. And when she got there, the man looked at her and said, are you the person who wants to buy this land? She said yes. And the man rejected it. And she said she was not going to buy the land. She was just going to rent the land for 1 or 5 years, depending on how smooth it is for her. And he still rejected the offer. Why? The man said she is a woman and cannot be trusted with land matters. Now, if a youth who is being marginalized as a result of inequality, 2 things will begin to happen. Either this youth looks for another opportunity to be better, or should we start talking about social vices? I want to go back straight, okay? I think the result, or what we should be looking at, is we should go back to the family. Now, this man's keywords were where he is from. Matters of land does not concern women. It doesn't help the society at all. Now, do we have personal experiences who want to share? Have you been in an unfair situation before?
I've been in an unfair situation before. I had to deliver a training in, what they call this, Yobe State.
Okay.
Okay, and I got up. I actually wore the most traditional outfit that I had, but I didn't cover my head. And then I went and I was talking and I was teaching them. And then one man, you know, he seemed to actually be making a fuss and kind of distracting. So at a point, he finally got up and, you know, indicated he wanted to say something. And I asked him, I said, what is it? He said, look, that this training I'm giving is not right, that they can't receive it. I said, why? That because I'm not properly dressed. So I said, really? I'm not properly? He said, yes, my head is not covered. So I said, well, I'm not Muslim, you know. I think I've tried to be as decent as possible. I don't normally dress like this, but I did this because of you people. But I'm not Muslim, you know. It's not my religion to cover my head. I'm not, and in Nigeria, I don't think there's any law that says a woman must cover her head when she's in the northern states. Okay. And, you know, before I even finished making my point, the other people got up and started shutting him down and, you know, telling him to keep quiet, you know, his own point is. But I think that was a very unfair situation because what I was teaching was more academic and a lot of people were receiving. But at that point, I think it distracted some people. Maybe some agreed with him. And,
Okay.
you know, he wouldn't do that to a man, no matter what the man was wearing. A lot of men were wearing shirts and trousers, not even traditional
Yes.
outfits. So that was a very unfair situation that I was in.
I believe every job seeker in Nigeria has been in an unfair situation. My point is, you look at employers, what they do is they lay a barrier to young people when seeking for jobs. They tell you experience needed is 5 years, 10 years, knowing fully well that lots of us do not have that experience in us, except if we actually started school in our mommy's bellies.
What's that? Hey, chat. I don't see. Hey, she make my response. Hello, yeah. Hello, yeah. Hey, see, for instance, say I be the one where them give chance. Say I be the one where they make plans. For all man to benefit I be, to make me disagree, to agree to create chance. But now I am not of importance, cause now I am looking from a distance. And that's why he give them the chance to do us and gonna us the victim of circumstance. Them just they ignore our existence. They create excuse, they use excuse to buy thanks. Them no one knows say we did them, they use us, they play. All we get is a passing glance. Anytime we stand for resistance.
In the beginning was the Word, communicated through God and translated to be God because it bore supernatural life. So from the beginning it was all about the Word and the process in communication. And when God wanted for man to understand something right, man was always quick to stray out of God's sight. And so it began. The strain on the relationship between the Creator and His creation. When God showed love, man would always shove. Sometimes God needed to take walks with man, but man always had a problem with his feet. And then it got worse when God wanted somebody to chat with. Man wanted more than just that word. Man wanted pages of gossip, love letters, phone sex. Web pages of pornography, purvings of Seinfeld and auctions of cyberspace. Man got his own plans as far as communication goes and those inventions to see him through. And poor God, he's got no one to talk to. Man came up with the second part of the word from which he formed his sword. The word from his port was like a cord connecting other words. Man found an extension of extinction as he communicated. And so to ease up the stress, man came up with the printing press. Bibles got printed in vernacular rather than in Latin, bringing God out of the dark corners of life, out of the dark ages to ordinary folks like you and I. Man got famous that he once spoke through a wire. Hello. 130 years later, we're talking through satellites, and after this long conversation with loved ones, before hanging up, we say, keep in touch. See, there's no physical contact, just wires and cables and frequencies. Strange, but no, God has no phone to keep in touch. The internet came up in the 60s. Little did man know he was mixing up concrete to build a global village. There's nothing concrete about it. I just sit in my room and get digital mail through electronic boxes. We congregate in chat rooms with no openings, no doors, no walls. But do we let God peep through our hearts as windows? Because that word became flesh and it dwelt among us. Literally, God became man so he would keep and we would touch.
My mother and my dad got married 1973. I was born July 7th, 1975. And when my mom was pregnant, she gave birth to me at Ola Hospital. They called my dad. My dad is a retired police officer, SP. And they told him, your wife had a baby girl. My dad was very sad. It was very, very sad because his wife put to bed a baby girl, the first child. And well, he managed through life like that. 2 years later, she gave birth to her second daughter, which is my immediate younger sister, Mrs. Talatu Usa, the wife of the guy who does Innocent Minds. And she got married, she gave birth to her. My dad was very upset. She gave birth to a woman. And then the third time she got pregnant, she gave birth to a boy. And that's Priest OG. He's the founder of the Future Entertainment on the plateau. And my dad was happy. He drove his bike from Bukuru to Ola and got accident at Terminus because he was excited that for the first time his wife gave birth to a child. Now at the age of 4, I kept hearing my dad telling me there's no need to send a woman to school. He kept raining insults and calling us, my sister and I, whatever we do, he says we are prostitutes, we are harlots, he will slap you. So at the age of 4, I was already used to physical and verbal abuse from my father as a young girl. So I grew up that way, feeling that there's nothing good about a woman, feeling like you are just a prostitute, you are just something that no one has use for. For example, I turn my MTV and I see African Magic Music, and then I see Timaya and Don Jazzy putting up a video, beautiful video, I concur. And then you look at all the videos from Lagos and everywhere in the world, you find out that the guys are well dressed, the guys look good, they cover themselves, but they use the woman to sell sex, they use the woman to sell the video, and then you come out half naked and then they are fully clothed. Now it's what the society, from the family, that we've been able to, that has been put or injected in the woman, that you are nothing but a sex material, you are nothing but something that a man should prize and use and dump. But I believe, and I want to thank the organizers of this program, that we need a revolution, and this is just the beginning. We need a revolution, we need a change, especially the women. So we are talking about inequality. Before you get to religion, all of us were born and met the Bible. And you remember in the Bible, when the woman was caught in adultery, I don't think she was in adultery alone. So from the days of Jesus till now, the woman has been made a second-class citizen. But we are rising up in this generation. Religion, culture, and tradition will no longer define who the woman is.
Inequality is something that started from the government. The government, if you read through, you know that the government is something. When during the wealth distribution, we don't go through to even the poorest of masses. Wealth distribution, when you see, is something that they satisfy people in bigger cities. Like if you go to Abuja, you see, okay, allocations of the people is in Abuja, then you in Jos, you have to struggle. That's why a lot of us have been fighting for true federalism, so that the people from the state can also support their own selves. When the government is corrupt, all they do is to satisfy their own needs and the needs of their own people and the people around them. That is why in higher institutions, when you go, you realize that the highest bidders are the first ones who are considered for admission. Some of us, we only need God and prayers of our parents and our mothers to get admissions in higher institutions. If you go through the things that is happening in politics, you realize that inequality is also in politics. If I have money to distribute salt, slippers, t-shirts to you, you vote me more than the man who has the clear and the pure picture of who and what to do there. It is inequality.
You can find them on the cover of a magazine, the finest women you'll ever see. It would be my fantasy to have them all surrounding me.
With precepts, prayers, days to night, staring at the sky for rain and light, for bread and might. Weave in reality, purgatory and bless. For true, if your heart is a temple, you will find fellowship in the scarlet heavens or white utopia. These words are written from insomnia. They don't sleep or sleep in this slippery reality, or in this sleepless night of great calamity. I am heavy with words, this poetry, maternity. I deliver me from the pen of serpent who cannot paint you beautiful, but to gay color you colorful. The gods are not to be fooled. I am just cold. I am not too cool. The Audu will not go to school. That TT will not own a pair of shoes. Art, freaking child, you will not die of famine and fever. Follow your art that makes Asha a diva. Follow your heart that makes reader a leader. I am giving these words. Call me giver, seeker, like Apostle Peter.
So what am I supposed to do? Dig up what is buried? And even if I dig it out, the same people would tear it. And they cast stones at me and say that I'm a ritualist, so picture this, the future is a long way from here, and I really need to get to this. My destiny is far. Plus, to further aggravate, I don't have a car. Now, they said I'm not supposed to trek because I'm a superstar, plus I can't buy another shoe for trekking on the tar. And the sweat that is coming out of my face is giving me a scar. So what am I supposed to do?
I think that if God created man and woman, in my opinion, there should be no difference between both. That's the truth. Everybody has a role to play.
Now, orphans and orphanages, orphan homes, they are all products of what I call inequality.
So we're live. So we're live on Facebook. This is the end of the first series of the Open Mic Campus Debate. And it was a very fun, rewarding and educative experience. And if you missed it, then you missed a lot. So don't miss the next one. And from all of us here, we're saying...